here in case you want to interview me at any point.
Well, any test questions?
Well, not candy, though. Close. No stomach shots.
she goes, I ain't touching it either. You grab it by its tail. You like the rainbow. She's like, I'm very tall, right? Usually I go up with a shovel. So she made the decision that she's going to go yet or what? What's that? Well, I get it, but like my son, he won't college. He's going to college. He's not going to study, so I'm like, well, if you don't get into what's going to allow you to play, then maybe we're going to do the trip.
alumni and alumni, faculty and staff, underclassmen, and graduating seniors. Welcome to the 155th commencement exercises of the Storm King School. Storm King is a global community of teachers and learners from many countries. To welcome all of our visitors in the world languages represented in the class of 2023, here are several members of our graduating class.
欢迎来到斯特姆国王学院第155周年毕业典礼。
Bienvenidos a la ceremonia de graduación número 155 de Storm King School.
Vítajte na 155. maturitnej ceremonii Storm King školy.
Bienvenue à graduation de Storm King School pour l'année 2023.
Добро пожаловать на выпускной 2023 года в Storm King School.
2023년 스토킹 졸업식에 오신 여러분 환영합니다.
Mokiyi Ekabosi, Aye Arioko, Arundini Odkojo, Sikileoko, Storm King.
Welcome to the 155th commencement of the Storm King School.
Please remain standing and welcome the Storm King Choir, who will perform America the Beautiful. Please be seated, except for seniors. Seniors, remain standing. Turn around. Turn around. Spot your families in the audience, your teachers to my right. Most of today is about all of us congratulating you for your work, and rightfully so. But right now, I would like you to thank those who have supported you most, your families, friends, and teachers, with your applause. You should thank them every day, but on this day in particular. You may now sit down. Thank you. Good morning. Let me say a few words about our senior class. Our graduating class is made up of 43 seniors and 4 postgraduates. There are 21 young women, and in the class are 21 young men. The class comes from 10 different countries and 4 states. Dr. Pfeffer, the class advisor, noted that the class of 2023 demonstrated maturity, leadership, and camaraderie, which which bodes well for them as they embark on the next phase of their lives. Our college counselor, Mr. Contanini, remarked that this year's class has proven to be determined, industrious, and persistent in their search process. The class of 2023 faced the additional challenge of navigating the college admissions process in a post-pandemic world, in which college standards and requirements have changed significantly. Despite these challenges, this class found their way into some of the most prestigious universities in the United States and abroad. Senior class members will attend a range of academic institutions throughout the United States, as well as Canada, the UK, Spain, Singapore, the Republic of Korea, and Mexico. While some students are still exploring academic paths, most have decided on a program of study. Many members of the class of 2023 expect to pursue STEM-based paths ranging from traditional majors such as engineering, biology, and computer science to more industry-focused majors like atmospheric sciences, nursing, and marine biology. Some of the class will pursue general liberal arts majors in sociology, history, economics, pre-law, and psychology. And as typical of our graduates, many will pursue programs in the arts, including media design, fashion merchandising, animation, dance, filmmaking, and fine arts. The class of 2023 saw 5 of its members recruited to play NCAA sports, with 2 students expected to play at the Division III level, 2 students at the Division II level, and 1 student at Division I. Dr. Rigg, our Director of Community Service, reported the class has logged over 1,260 hours of community service this year and over 4,300 hours over 4 years. Many of these hours were completed on campus through peer tutoring and peer counseling and by supporting our Green Team. Off-campus activities included work in Black Rock Forest, helping at the Newburgh Armory, working at a local food bank, service at the Hudson Highlands Museum, and helping the Beautiful People's Adaptive Sports Program. Many of our seniors also volunteered independently at their churches, through scouts, in their school districts, and other local organizations. This class was fully engaged in the arts. Over the last 4 years, 13 of our seniors have performed in at least 2 theater productions, and 4 were regular members of our backstage tech group. 5 members performed in 8 concerts and music recitals, and 8 members of the senior class performed in 8 different dance recitals. Mr. Carruthers reported that over 4 years, our seniors won 9 gold medals and 6 silver awards for individual works, and one senior earned a portfolio award from the Scholastic National Student Art Competition. Another one of our graduating artists, Charlotte G., won a Congressional Art Award last year. The work for which she won this award, entitled 2 Women Stacking Stones in the Dark, is hanging in the halls of Congress in Washington, D.C. right now. And this past spring, we sponsored our 7th annual Storm King Poetry Festival. Many of our seniors have contributed poems and proceeds to the festivals, to our literary magazine, and other publications over their years at Storm King. And finally, members of our senior class also helped win 10 Hudson Valley Athletic Conference League championships over their 4 years. Since we were unable to play competitive sports for almost 2 years, this is especially notable. Thank you and congratulations, senior class, for all these varied accomplishments and contributions to our school and to communities throughout the region. I have some closing remarks for the class. In a few weeks, I'm going to travel back to my hometown in western New York for my 50th high school reunion. I look forward to seeing old friends and remembering my own school days. It's not uncommon to hear adults my age speak about some time in their past that was their golden era. Many of us look back on our youth and school years as a time when things were somehow simpler and easier than they are today. This is partly true and partly not true. Like most nostalgic flashbacks, we tend to remember the good things and we don't remember the real challenges. The fact is, our adolescent years are one of the most demanding periods any of us pass through during our lives. As we exit childhood and transition to adulthood, we are faced with an obstacle course. In the past 4 years or more, you have encountered all the normal changes and challenges teenagers have always faced. Physical changes, complex new emotions, sometimes increasing demands from parents and other adults, growing self-consciousness and self-awareness, sometimes new temptations, and always daunting questions about how and where you fit into a demanding and confusing world. In this modern age, we have added pressures. The growth of social media such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and others is certainly one. And last night, Dr. Pfeffer reminded us that AI is now a part of this list. Like most human inventions, the tools we make can be both useful and harmful. We are just beginning to recognize and address the potential harm these social media tools can cause. You also face the constant drum of news and or disinformation from the 24-hour news media cycle. My generation did not have to deal with anything near the same level of this. And you had to be conscious of threats in a way that is new and frightening. When I was an elementary school student, my schoolmates and I had to duck and cover under our desk once or twice to practice for an imagined nuclear war. That pales in comparison to the active shooter drills you all have to practice 4 times a year, every year. And one more obstacle you dealt with. Everyone in this class had to go to school during a pandemic. Graduating from high school certainly does not mean the end of all these challenges and questions. But I believe you will all leave here with tools that will help you down the road. Here are some of them. You all leave with knowledge of what you have learned and done these past several years. A long list of accomplishments the class, which I just described, are some of those experiences. Certainly you've studied and worked on your academic development during your time, but you've also danced, computed, created music, visual art, and poetry. You've played together as teammates and individually just for the joy of it. You have shared meals with schoolmates from around the world, and you have all cared for our beautiful campus. I believe that these collective experiences will make you more confident in facing the next chapters of your life. These experiences also strengthen your mental muscle and emotional resolve when facing challenges. While emotional ups and downs are normal for all of us, part of the last few years for you has been about learning to manage these emotions and understand that feeling very good or bad in response to a given event is not always a crisis. And 2, I believe your ability to empathize with others has also increased. Like most Storm King students over the years, you have grown to care deeply for one another, and you have cared for others in our community and beyond through service. Your EQ, your emotional intelligence, is higher now than when you began your high school journey. This too should serve you well. I know you've learned this. To accomplish anything, you need help from friends, from caring adults, family, teachers, parents, advisors. One of the common denominators among most successful people is that early in their lives they had a positive and close relationship with at least one caring adult beyond their families. I hope that you understand how important this is when you move on to college and beyond. Continue to seek out people you can trust and who have your best interest in mind whenever you reach out to them. Certainly this resource has been here during your time at Storm King. And once graduated, you're immediately part of a much larger family of graduates, current and former faculty members, friends of Storm King. Among them, you may also find those future advisors. All of us in the Storm King family have had the common experience that you have. We have spent time walking on this ground by the mountain and the river. Together, we have all learned, taught, and grown in this special place. As you encounter your new schools and workplaces, you will find others to trust and advise you. But you always now have the whole Storm King family as a reserve for support and camaraderie. I urge you to take all that you have learned, to use the skills and strengths you've developed, to gather the connections with friends and mentors you have gained, and use all of this to build rich and meaningful lives. And now, as I always close these remarks, yes, you're about to leave us, but don't leave us forever. Storm King is still your home away from home. Come back in the next few years and tell us about your college experience. When you find a job, return to help us on Career Night. Later, come back with your spouse or a friend some summer day to climb the mountain again. When you have the chance, bring your children back and let them run on the fields where you once played. And when your own children have grown, moved on, and you're looking back on your life to measure what it has meant, return to the mountain to remember where you played and learned and grew. The school and the mountain are always here, waiting for your return, so you can savor your Storm King days, laugh with old friends, or seek solace and healing. We will always be your home. Godspeed, and thank you. We will now hear Doggimus Igator sung by our choir members under the direction of Mr. Gabrielle McCullough Johnson and accompanied by Mr. Connors. Chris William Pecos was born in San Mateo, California, and he spent his early years in both California and Peru. Later in his youth, his family moved to Long Island. He earned a master's degree from SUNY New Paltz after attending SUNY Portland and Cornell University for 4 years. Mr. Pecos taught high school advanced placement physics, math, and earth science for 20 years, all in the Hudson Valley. This includes a brief stint teaching here at Storm King in the early 1980s. After teaching here, Chris spent 5 years teaching at the New York Military Academy, where our own revered history teacher, Mr. Costello, led that school. Chris spent most of his distinguished teaching career at Newburgh Free Academy, from which he retired in 2015. After retirement, he maintained a close relationship with the school by teaching engineering to select classes and being advisor to the solar car racing team. While he was the NFA solar car racing team advisor, his teams won 3 national championships. The team was twice qualified to participate in the World Championships in London, coming in 16th and then 7th in the world among 500 other schools. Chris was elected as an Orange County legislator in 2006, serving for 12 years, and is proud of his service to that community. He eliminated an unnecessary municipal tax while reducing costs and maintained or reduced the local property tax rate during his tenure. He was Orange County commander of the Sons of American Legion and a district officer of that organization. He has dedicated himself to assisting veterans and active military personnel throughout the state. He's worked to supply emergency housing to homeless veterans, sent tons of necessities overseas to local active military personnel, and helped renovate homes for homeless veterans locally. Chris was elected to the New York State Assembly last fall, and he began his term in January. Chris is a Boy Scout of America District Chair for the Heritage District of the Greater Hudson Valley, and he's on the advisory board for the City of Newburgh Salvation Army. Chris is happily married for the last 30 years to Kim and has 4 children and 5 grandchildren. It is my honor to present New York State Assembly Member Chris Ekus as your 2023 commencement speaker.
Thank you. If I can go off script just for a moment, and you will indulge me with that. I was 40 years a high school teacher, and as you heard, Storm King was part of that career, that wonderful career. So I have an attachment here, but I have more than an attachment. I found out when I arrived today, because one of my former students, teaching for 40 years, is the mother of one of the graduates today. So I'm very proud. I did stop teaching when I was getting grandkids of my former students. So, but I enjoyed my career as a teacher. So anyway, you'd think we were at a funeral here, guys. Smile. This is a great day for you. This is wonderful. This is amazing. This is one just small leap in your life, and you made it. Congratulations. So anyway, good morning, class of 2023. I am New York State Assembly Member Chris Ekus. And a little bit more background about myself. I have lived in Orange County now, right here, for 46 years. And as I mentioned, spent 40 of those years teaching as a high school teacher. I recently became elected as a New York representative. And I think one of the things that I really would like to tell you about that election is that there were over 37,000 votes that voted in my election just this past November. 37,000. Try counting up to that number. I won by 8 votes. Nobody is ever going to tell me your vote does not count. It does. So please remember that. Remember that. I'm honored to be invited to speak at this wonderful event. Not only because I'm an assembly member, but also because about 40 years ago, I taught right here in these buildings at Storm King. My fond memories of Storm King School from over 40 years ago today are the personal attachments I was able to cultivate here. I remember living in the cottage right over here and getting to know the senior boys. At that time, it was senior boys only in the cottage. And it was wonderful. We could sit around in the evenings, and at that time we drank soda because we didn't know how bad it was for us. Now we do, of course. And talk about our personal experiences. In those days, I was not much older than the actual students themselves. And I remember coaching the boys' soccer team, and I actually started the boys' lacrosse team here at that time. Our greatest accomplishments were, of course, when we would beat New York Military Academy. And as most of the graduates know, I had to apologize to them ahead of time because I also taught at New York Military Academy. So, throughout my time here, and to this very day, I can tell you that that old adage of I gave my blood, sweat, and tears to the Storm King School, and that applies to the current staff here too. Why don't you graduates give this staff and these that they are amazing. My tears that I shed were for the wins that we had against NEMA and the other schools and the championships that I brought here. That's where my tears were from. The sweat. I sweat every day because I was never sure whether I was giving my students at that time the right information, because the information they needed to succeed. And so it was a great deal of sweat every night before I would teach the next day. And for the blood, well, the blood came just 1 week ago when I came with my wife and we gave a pint of blood in your blood donation program last week. So congratulations for doing that. Thank you for doing that. You have obviously saved multiple lives in doing that. And so that's a very, very important thing to do. When you put this into perspective of the past and the presence of Storm King School, you must realize that you stand on the pillar of greatness. Literally giving the gift of life back to the community is the greatest thing that you can do. That pillar also comes from those in the past from here, including former students, teachers, staff, and administrators. The present, which includes you, and the future of those who are yet to come, all create that great pillar. A greatness that comes with the outstanding education you received here, both in the classroom as well as in life. Now, as I mentioned, even though you're still not smiling, this is a happy occasion, and one in which we should congratulate you. But also know that as you leave here, you take with you a responsibility. Being an alumni of Storm King School, that responsibility is to continue to be a success in whatever your future brings, and build on the foundations applied to you while you were here. You are already a success through your graduation today from such a prestigious academic institution, but your success must add to the world and make it a better place. Go forth in whatever you're destined to do, and also in something you find immensely important and have the pleasure in doing, but always remember the basics that you've been taught here at Storm King, and continue to use your talents for good. I want to thank Denise Salami, assistant of head of the school. I want to thank Jonathan Lamb, the head of the school, for having me here. Thank you for this very happy and prestigious event. I really feel very privileged to be here and be doing this in front of all of you. And may God bless you and keep you all safe. Thanks.
Thank you, Assemblyman Inkes. You've given us much to think about. We appreciate you being with us today. As a token of our appreciation, we present you with a Storm King sweatshirt and coffee mug. Feel free to use these items in public settings, so if anyone asks, you can tell them about Storm King. We will now hear Madison Bishop sing A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman.
What the world could be, a vision of the one I see.
this time, I would like to ask that Assemblyman Deacus, Trustee Dougherty, and Dr. Lance, our student head for academics, help us with the presentation of awards.
The Storm King Scholar Award is granted to those students who have consistently achieved at the highest academic levels and who have contributed significantly to other areas of campus life. The 2023 Storm King Scholars are Edward Ianese Susich, Lee Zitjin, and Alexander Nozhny. The Riley Cup, given in recognition of former Headmaster Philip Riley to honor in perpetuity an outstanding member of the staff and an outstanding student who have contributed to the school's community ethos in practical and creative ways. The 2023 Riley Cup is presented jointly to Nina Gannon, and Mr. Jim Bennett. I had to sit on that one for a whole week. The Spy Rock Cup is awarded annually to that senior whose performance and contribution to our school have fostered its best interests and traditions. This year, the Spy Rock Cup is awarded to Elena Centeno. The Headmaster's Cup is a gift of Mrs. Anson Barker, whose husband was, for 19 years, the headmaster of the Storm King School. Since 1938, the Headmaster's Cup, inscribed, "For cheerfulness of spirit and enthusiasm," is awarded annually to that senior whose love for this school is profound. In 2023, the Headmaster's Cup is awarded to Jia Yu Chung. One of our school's enduring traditions is that the recipient of our highest commencement award, the Storm King Cup, is chosen by a vote of faculty, staff, and students. Since 1915, it has been won by students who have distinguished themselves by their personal qualities and their accomplishments. What other positive traits they have manifested, they share the traits of idealism, quiet courage, and a vision of the school as it could be. The 2023 Storm King Cup is awarded to Kenzo City.
In a moment, we come to the main activity of the day. But let me pause for a moment to address our underclass students. When we award diplomas to the class of 2023, our juniors will formally become seniors in the class of 2024, sophomores will become juniors, freshmen will become sophomores, and our 8th graders will officially enter their high school years. Congratulations to all of you. at the Commons. Hopefully we'll be able to stay outside when that happens, but please come and join us for lunch afterwards. And now is the moment the senior class has been anxiously awaiting all year. I ask Dr. Lance back to the microphone to call the seniors forward to receive their diplomas. Assemblyman Ickes, Mr. Dougherty, and Mr. Freeman, and I will help. Seniors, will you please prepare yourselves to receive your diplomas?
Maria Lynn Butchgalupo. Georgi Bolden. Caitlin Dugan-Bowe. Ishmael DeAndre Bruni. Elena Maria Centeno. Chen Shi. Joy Juan. Chong Nguyen. Thomas Shaliang Chu. Luke Chunga. Siani Iola Conyers. Isabella Vargas Croft. Jaden Trump. Ana Diego Biafun. Sophie Renee Drews. Christopher Guillermo Farias. Feng Zhua. Olivia Joy Frederick. acting. Eniola Alexandria Kopadipe. Lee Hyun-jin. Lee Zi-chin. Hugo Lopez Vidal. Ken Makani. Jack Nicholas Marino. Fernando Morales. Taylor Rose Moreno. Alexander Nozhny. Laurel Sage Papera. Ryan J. Rodriguez. Rahina Ruiz. Kenzo Olagai. Alina Janae Skies. Michael James Smith. Joseph Andrew Whitty. Xiao Yu Chung.
So graduates, will you all please stand, turn around, and here I give you the class of 2023.
Watching, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to all the parents and grandparents and the graduating seniors. That was our live stream. Enjoy the summer.